A patient has a high temperature, convulsions, and a stiff tongue. What is the treatment? This is the case. So for this case, still like the foundation. So when we see any case, so we need to do the pattern differentiation. Based on the pattern, we develop the treatment plan. Based on the treatment plan, we come up with the points prescription. So this is the kind of the procedures we do the cases, right? We analyze case. So this case, high temperature, in other words, probably fever, right? This patient is fever. But in Chinese medicine, when they think of high temperature, fever, that's heat pattern, right? Heat pattern, heat or fire. Convulsions in Chinese medicine, this kind of belongs to the wind, right? The wind, because it's a part of the Shen disturbance, but it's the wind pattern, internal wind, convulsions. And also stiff tongue. Stiff tongue, generally speaking, this is also the symptom, the sign of the wind or Shen disturbance. But in Chinese medicine, which organ is associated with the tongue? Particularly is the heart, right? We know heart manifests on the tongue, right? Stiff tongue. Let's see if this is the heat, fire, heart, fire, or heart heat pattern. So that will be probably maybe a heat disturbing the Shen. The pattern is a heat disturbing the Shen. The heat turn into the wind, internal wind. Extreme heat can transform into wind, internal wind. This is the part of the Chinese medicine pattern, right? So we believe this is the kind of maybe the heart heat or maybe the liver heat, because if liver heat can turn into the liver wind, right? This is a wind pattern. But a stiff tongue may be related to the heart, but in general speaking, if we have the liver pattern, so stiff tongue, think about it, the stroke patients. Stroke patients, Chinese medicine mainly related to the liver, because the liver is associated with the wind in five elements, right? So we believe, overall, we more believe this probably is the liver heat or general heat. If you're not really sure which organ involved, but definitely you can confirm this is the heat pattern. Heat disturbing the Shen turn into the wind. So this you can confirm it, right? So if you generally review the option A, B, C, D, you all mention the liver pattern, or make us believe this is the liver pattern, liver heat. So from the options, you also can think about it, the case, and overall put them together. This makes sense. If this is the liver heat transforming into liver wind, so they make sense. We have those presentations such as high fever, convulsions, and stiff tongue. So this is liver heat. So liver heat, this is the exercise pattern, right? So if you develop your treatment plan, you need using the sedate method, right? You need to reduce, you need to clear the liver heat, right? You need to use the drain method, right? Drain, clear the liver heat. So clear the liver heat, think about it. You can see the option. Let's go over one by one. Liver 8. Liver 8, this is we know this is the He lower, especially we think that this is the He C point, the water point. Generally speaking, He C point, water point, has the tonifying method, tonifying function. So He C point can tonify. So liver 8 here can tonify liver yin, tonify liver blood. So also can treat the lower abdominal pain, because the locations also can treat the genital issues. So liver 8. Overall, this is the tonifying point. But for this case, we don't need a tonifying point, right? Remember, this is the excess. This is the heat pattern. We need to clear. We need to drain. We don't want to tonify. We don't want to put a gas on the fire, so make it more heat. So we need to remove the gas. We need to tonify. We need to reduce, right? We need to reduce. So if from this perspective, A seems not right, but this is the general thinking. For the questions, when you do the real question, you also need to review all the other points quickly. But maybe in the future, when you do more and more questions, you have a lot of experience, and also you have very strong foundation of your points, echo points. You can quickly rule out this option, right? Rule out option. But since this is the first class review, so we kind of go over more detailed, a little bit slow, but I think it's good for you to understand so why we rule out this option. But in the future, when you have more and more strong, strong foundation, you can really follow. You can really understand, why we take it out. So liver 3, this point is Shu Yuan points, and also the specialty for this point is to move the liver qi. Move liver qi. We all know that liver 3 can move liver qi. Basically for liver qi stagnation, but not for liver heat, right? Not for liver heat. There's different pattern. So GB20, Feng Chi, we know this point is the kind of the house, we call it the house of the wind. So that means the host, the wind. Basically, GB20 can treat all kinds of wind, no matter internal wind or external wind. But for this case, we know this is a wind pattern, right? Wind pattern convergence. So we can use the GB20, right, to treat the convergence. This is fine. This point is okay. And the bladder 17, this point is the meeting point of the blood. So influential point of the blood. Basically can treat all kinds of blood disorder. We use this point is still okay, because general speaking, in Chinese medicine, we have a theory. When we treat the wind pattern, first we need to treat the blood. So that means that if blood is free to move, and there is no place for wind to stay in the meridian. So that means that when the blood is moved, so the wind will taken away. So that means no place for wind. So that's why we treat blood before we treat the wind pattern. So this is general rules for Chinese medicine. General rules. The bladder 17. So bladder 17, we treat the blood point. We treat the blood disorder before we treat the wind. Okay, and also the next point, bladder 18. Bladder 18 is the back shoe of the liver. So that's basically can treat the the liver deficiency, particular liver blood deficiency, right? So we can use the bladder 18 liver yin is for liver meridian, liver deficiency. But this case, you can see we have the tonifying points, and also we have the treat the wind, treat the blood point, but not for this case. We know this case is the liver heat, so it's excess. So we don't choose the A. B, liver 8, the same thing, tonify liver blood, liver yin. Liver 3, move liver qi. GB20 is okay. Do 16. Do 16 is the house of the wind. It can treat the wind pattern. For this case, can treat convergence. Kidney 3 is the Tai Xi. This is the this is the shoestring point of the kidney. So it can tonify kidney yin, tonify kidney yin and yang. So we can use the kidney 3. But still, prescription for B is a tonification prescription. So not for this case. So C, liver 3 can move liver qi. Extra point Shixuan. We know Shixuan. This is it's located on the fingertips. So 10 points. So we generally use the bleeding method for this point to clear heat. So this is okay. SI3 后溪 we know this opens to the dual meridian. Can treat convergence. 后溪 SI3. So it's opens to the dual meridian. Conflict. This is the confluent point. And the GB20, DO20 also can treat the convergence because this is the meeting point of all the yang meridian. This is the intersection of the Du and the yang meridian, can treat all conditions of the all conditions related to the brain, like convergence. We can use the DO20. GB20, we mentioned this can expel the wind, can treat all kinds of wind. For this case, can treat the convergence. So C. But C seems okay, but not. We are not sure. Let me see the D. D, liver 8. Liver 8, this is the yin spring point. Yin spring point of the liver. Generally speaking, the 5 special points, yin spring point, can clear the heat. So for this one, liver 2 can clear liver heat. So this is good, right? And extra point Shixuan can clear heat, we just mentioned. SI3 can treat convergence. DO20 can treat the convergence. And the DO20 and the GB20 can expel the wind. So all other points is same, only the first one is different. So C and D. C, liver 3. D, the first point, liver 2. But generally speaking, we know that liver 3 can move liver qi, right, for qi stagnation. And liver 2 for heat, clear heat and fire. So that's why liver 2 is better than liver 3 from the points from this perspective. So that's why overall we choose the D. D is the best options. Liver 2, extra point Shixuan, SI3, DO20, and GB20. GB20. Okay.